The following is a clip from the World Class Bullshitters live show, broadcasting live here on YouTube at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday night. You're invited, but you gotta bring your own beer. Somewhere that's not happy is the beer company Anheuser-Busch, or InBev, I should say. Dion, we talked about the Disney Star Wars Hotel losing $250 million, but can you guess what it cost Bud Light for their little advertising stint in April?
Ooh, that one definitely's got to be in the billions.
You're guessing billions again?
Yeah, I'm gonna say since April, I'll say it cost them I'll say 1.5 billion in overall.
Nick, would you like to take a guess?
I've been kind of keeping track of it, so I'm gonna say 30 billion.
Oh, okay, just to give Dion a chance. I'm going to throw in the number of $47 quadrillion. They've destroyed the economy of the planet, and we're all broke thanks to Bud Light.
That would be some shit. That would be some shit.
2023 is a retarded year. I would not be surprised if all of a sudden the world was bankrupt because of one bad commercial.
God, that'd be some shit.
Well, though the real number is a little lower, Dion. It's $400 million. Now, that $400 million has really hurt InBev. So, for those who don't know, back in April, they teamed up with social media influencer Dylan Mulvaney, and this sparked a series of outrages online. Now, initially, you always talk about the meme of the dog in the house. Everything is fine. Or Leslie Nielsen, don't worry, don't be alarmed. For months, analysts were trying to say, this isn't a big deal. This isn't going to be an issue. This is just conservative outrage. This is going to blow over by Memorial Day. It's going to blow over by the 4th of July. It's going to blow over by next week. It's August, and this shit still hasn't blown over. So don't tell me that all of a sudden, hey guys, it's not a big deal. It's been a big deal since the beginning, and it only gets worse. And you know we're like the Joker. We're agents of chaos. So it's going to get even
100%.
worse. They have sold off 8 of their beer brands to a cannabis company, which, yeah.
Oh my god.
I never saw that one coming.
No, that's really interesting. That's I hope it works out. I hope they can get it in more states, because God knows we need it down here. Please.
So here are the brands that they're selling to the cannabis company Tilray. They're selling Shock Top, which we all drink Shock Top every once in a while.
Yeah.
Or used to. I haven't had a lot of beer this summer. Breckenridge Brewery, Blue Point Brewing Company, 10 Barrel Brewing Company, Red Hook Brewing Company, Widmer Brothers Brewing, Square Mile Cider Company, and Highball Energy. Those taste like shit, so I don't care about those ones. But this is what happens with one bad advertising campaign. And, the people in power the executives that make these decisions really need to take an assessment of what they're selling, who they're selling it to, and why they're selling it. Because this is just another example. This is on a different level, but this is kind of like how we talked about in entertainment with Star Wars. They don't know their audience. They make shit that's for them, not their audience. They talk down to their audience when their audience says no thank you, and then they're fucked. And that's been really the theme of big business and big entertainment over the last few years. You get these companies that think we know better. We're going to make our audience listen to us. It's like the Vince McMahon way. Oh, they don't know what they want. I'll tell them what they want. No, Vince. We didn't want Max Moon and the Gobbledygooker and all the other hokey horse shit. People wanted other wrestlers. And every once in a while, you backed up into a good one like Stone Cold or The Rock. But on average, we're stuck with really, a lot of trash in that field. And so the same rolls over to this. Trying to sell Bud Light to the Dylan Mulvaney crowd was not a smart move. And that really has nothing to do with any bigotry. It's just this basic economics. This isn't your demographic? Let's not go down that path. And so $400 million later, here we are. The question I have for you guys is, can it get worse?
It can always get worse.
Yeah. I mean, it obviously can. That's one of those things where, there's a lot of things tied up in that. And quite frankly, listen, Bud Light very clearly, misjudged their market, and that's no matter how you feel about the social justice reasonings that they did it, right? You misread your market, and especially now, right? Politically, socially, there's a lot of stuff mixed up in that. And when you purposely try to ride that wave, that's the danger. And we've said it a lot of times on this channel, right? That's why you do not try and ride the wave of the internet. That's the risk you take. And obviously, a large portion of people out there feel very strongly one way or another, and it affects the bottom line, man. And so you really misjudged your market. You really misjudged the current crop of people who apparently fucking drink Bud Light, and that shit happens, man. I mean, it's obviously the first one that came to my mind was New Coke, and that was catastrophic for Coke. So much so that they had to go back to the drawing board. So obviously, it can definitely get worse. Especially again with so much going on socially. And whatever you want to blame it on, it is a hot topic. And just because something is a hot topic does not mean that you should try and use that to get into a new market. And listen, and if anything, and listen, don't get me wrong, there are always going to be people who don't like other motherfuckers who are different. That's something that is going to affect us for another couple motherfucking generations. That all being said, that does not mean you try and use that to make money in a new market. And if anything, obviously, Disney's feeling the repercussions of that. I'm bringing up Coke before, and they just really misread the reaction to it. And apparently it's costing them $400 million damn dollars, man. $400 million damn dollars. I mean, listen, the closest thing, even though this one is so crazy, that reminds me like 2009, 2010, when Dr. Pepper was doing the whole "it's not for women" thing. Like, it's just,
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, man. Like, some things you just need to not try, and at least as far as where we are, it's a fucking election cycle coming up. The internet is still very clearly in an adolescent stage, but damn, that was a huge misstep to judge your market, man. And that type of shit will cost you $400 million.
Do you guys think it'll recover in terms of like actually become the number one beer brand anymore? Because since 2001, Bud Light had been the number one beer brand here in the U.S. Right. Now it's Modelo.
No, it's gonna take it's gonna take a long time for people to kind of really forget about this. But one thing is, we talk about this, Anheuser-Busch, a legacy kind of beer company, shitting the bed, and Disney and other things. Like, I'm glad these companies that have been around all this time are dying and doing dumb shit. I'm incredibly happy about that. That's great, because they've been around too goddamn long, and they need to die anyways. There needs to be something brand new, something better that's built, on top of them that is just different. We don't need this shit anymore. They've been around too long. Go back, let's get some new shit out there. Some new stuff that'll, last, just as long. Because these companies, obviously, they're dying. They don't get what's going on now. They're losing money. They're worried about their DEI score, whatever the hell it is. And they're willing to risk everything for it, and nobody likes anything they do. I mean, look at Gillette from a few years ago. They really screwed up, and they tried doing that again, and they lost a lot of money too. I just think it's dumb. We need to start giving our attention and money towards other companies that are actually smart and know what the hell they're doing and actually care about the consumers, as opposed to these giant companies that don't give two shits about us anymore.